My mic was muted. Ignore me. Hello. It's time for the playthrough. Just a minute. Here we are. Let's see how this goes. Continue. As the rain carriage slowly sways is moving away from your home, you stick your head out the window and wave goodbye to your family. Your tongue is burning torch, your ears glistening in their eyes. Think about it and heard stories from Father and Stefan. What kind of life awaits you there? What will you learn and where will your actions take you? You pass the old walls of Anazote, where within them is the old fortress and you and Thomas built together out of wooden planks now left to the care of your younger brothers. You two are adults now. Perhaps your fortress will crumble, now abandoned, or perhaps your brother will continue what you started. Who knows? You look down at your hands, knuckles covered in scars from the street antics, fingers stained with ink. Mother gave you a cross to wear away from home, and now you can feel its warmth against your chest. Your family counts on you, even though they all wish a different future for you, but they are behind you now in Anazote. From this point on, you will only you will decide which road you take. This is the journey you prepared for throughout your entire childhood. Ahead of you lie many years in the capital, years that will determine your fate and place in society. Alright. Oh, so don't chase. Whoa. Lots of pages. Okay. In the common state, no choice but to fend for yourself and make your own way in the world. Path of the Priest. Oh shit. Forget, I died a few times, so I can die 2 more times in this chapter. At max! Voice is rescue. Golden voice from timely death. Interesting. Fail to protect the lotless. Fire utterly destroys the secret society. Interesting. You rescue the lotless and see. Unbreakable bond of friendship. Jesus Christ, there's so much shit that can happen. Alright, this shit's about to get serious. It takes a whole month to reach Eterna. You and Thomas spend days wagging your chins and staring at scenery as your carriage makes its way along the road towards the next province. Soon it crosses from the familiar barren, arid lands of Magra to the stately mountains of Illyria. During one of your many stays at a roadside inn, the two of you manage to share a whole bottle of strong wine and keep it a secret from the servant who drives the carriage. Great. We're getting drunk tonight. Wow. Who would have thought? Soon, I tell you, we'll be there. And I'll earn my sword as soon as I get accepted into the military academy, you'll see. Then nobody's gonna walk all over me like I'm some commoner. You're rehearsing everything they taught you in school. Soon you're almost at the end of your long journey. You have left behind arid rocks of Magra and the mountains of Illyria and flooded the meadows of Archnia. Eterna, the capital, is right ahead. Just within the junction between Regalata and Tawny rivers, the city is vast. 3 majestic stone bridges keep its 3 shores interconnected. Smooth stone paves the main city streets. Gilded moldings decorate the buildings. Towering pillars the sky. Your carriage takes you past a spacious park with marble fountains and intricately trimmed bushes. On the streets, you see ornately decorated carriages bearing Archnean coat of arms and abundant merchant tents, filling the streets with beckoning cries and unusual sights. Spires of ancient city temples dot the entire skyline. The carriage comes to a halt on a large city square with a towering marble fountain. The coachman says that you have arrived. Thomas is to apply to the military academy. The academy barracks are 2 streets away. Your lodging is in the alleyway nearby. A room has already been reserved for you. Get out onto the street, say brief goodbyes to each other. You promise to meet again after the entrance exams, and your friend disappears into the crowded streets of the capital. A group of nobles walk past. They are dressed in well-fitting clothing decorated with gems and golden thread. You are not even noticed. Street urchins chase a dog down the alleyway. Soldiers of the Imperial Legion are marching to fifes and drums towards the barracks. Humble pilgrims are gathering toward the great temple of the twins. The sound of music. Excuse me. The sounds of music and fountains and smells of baked bread and garbage drains. You quickly check at the lodging house and go back inside. The sun is setting. The streetlights come to life. Merry music fills taverns. Couples and nobles coaches with tinted windows fill the streets. Shadows and hushed voices and laughter fill the parks. You are alone in the city, so vast and unfamiliar. You take a look around, determined to fill your first night, the capital, with memories. So young nobles gathered by the fountain, talking and looking great excitedly. One of them keeps glancing at the clock tower. They are about your age. Their clothes are hand-tailored. 2 of them bear noble swords. Seem to be waiting for something. Might be a good idea to make their acquaintance. It would be most helpful to develop familiarity with influential nobles of the capital. Damn, it is loud as shit. Loud music from a large establishment on the corner distracts you for a moment. The servants have just opened the shutters to air out the hall. It seems there will be gathering inside. People from various estates greet each other as they take their seats. A servant by the door of the establishment hails you. Sir Gert Arkwright will be making a speech about the rights of common estate. If you wish to listen, you better get inside. Then you look at the great temple of the twins at the far end of the street. The pillar shines in the evening dusk above it. The temple gates are open and worshippers are flocking inside. There are too many people for an ordinary service. There must be something important. What do they preach here in the capital? What do they say of the new faith and the teachings of the patriarch Fotis? You snap out of your reverie when you hear a loud laughter. A group of young men dressed in the colors of Imperial College have made acquaintance of several lovely girls. They are making their way down the road, united by merriment. One of the girls smiles at you. It is an invitation to join them. They turn the corner and walk away, but you can still hear their voices ringing and echoing through the street. A night of revelry and jolly. Loud fun doesn't sound half bad. It's your first night in Eterna. No matter what you choose, you remember it for a long time to come. Oh, shit. me to become 12. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna need the willpower. Those can stay at 10. I'm gonna run after the street. Anyway, willpower, I have a feeling I'm gonna need a lot of it. In that group, they're almost your age, maybe 1 or 2 years older. See so many faces soon, you're in a tavern somewhere in the city and getting to know as many people at a massive table. So many people you do not even bother to remember their names now. In the wine, it flows like water. Lively tune is playing in the tavern. A girl just a little bit older than you pulls off. You see to your dance, her dress is unbuttoned a bit more than it's supposed to be. Uh-oh. You copy her motions in the dance as your hand clasps her waist. It slides lower of its own. Oh god! She pulls away suddenly and stares into your eyes and then kisses you on the lips. You are startled at first, but soon you respond to the kisses. You pull her soft, supple body even closer to you. It's just turned into a romance. You spend all night dancing, only returning to the table to catch your breath and quench your thirst. The girl keeps embracing you and laughing, pouring even more wine into your glasses. You feel at ease, you feel carefree, you feel happy. You do not remember returning to the lodging house. Your head and legs are aching in the morning. You barely remember the names of last night's champions, or companions, not champions. After some consideration, you chose to remain in bed for the rest of the new day. You arrived in Eternal, the capital of the blessed Archnean Empire. Spent the last 3 days studying close to the ladies out here to walk through the streets of Eterna. They are full of life as usual. You proceed to the square next to the lodging house. A procession of priests wash through the square. I can read. I swear I can read. You notice that one of them holds a banner of the new faith, an open book. That is the same banner that was behind Patriarch Fotis on the day of his assassination. A crowd immediately gathers around them. Many people are looking at the icon painting on a small pedestal depicting a gray-haired man with glowing green eyes. You recognize that face, the face of the late Patriarch Fotis. A man with a thick beard appears by the icon painting. His broad shoulders bear a white and gold cloak with the coat of arms, the capital province embroidered on it. He is Luke, Patriarch of Archnia. He casts his stern gaze over the crowd. I speak to all who live within the sight of the Shining Pillar. Exactly 1 year ago, we lost Fotis, Patriarch of the Magra Providence, mentor of the New Faith. Patriarch Fotis was the first to see the books of Isadius, for nothing but the words of a man, not the words of the twins themselves. He was the first to tell people to seek the path to find gods in their own hearts instead of blindly following the lots, to seek an answer in the lies of the twins in their own hearts rather than the words of the priests. Through Patriarch Fotis, we were able to see the truth. Through his death, we saw that his words are not heresy, they are the truth that is used to be obscured by Isasius lies. And I now bring good news. Patriarch Junius Damiant has seen to it that our teacher will be canonized as a saint. Yes, Junius Junius, an Archnean from a great dynasty in the Patriarch of Estenia, has joined the New Faith himself. And through this, we hope the entire empire will soon see that our doctrine is the truth. We are free from the shackles of the lots. We are equal before the twins. With each day, more and more people hearken to the truth, and one day the entire empire will hear our call. So let us pray, my brothers. The believers around you bow their heads in prayer, thank the twins, not for the lot they were given, as they usually would, but for the chance to choose their own path. The Patriarch's sermon is inspiring. It compels your hands to meet in a sign of prayer. It compels your lips to repeat the words of new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermons forms a cadence, and your heart beats in time with it now. You recall the murder of Patriarch Fotis a year ago. It seems more patriarchs share his doctrine now. The news of Junius Diamond joining the new faith is stunning. If an Archean from a great dynasty has sided with Fotis' doctrine and agreed to see everyone as equals under the twins, the new faith must truly be putting down roots. But suddenly, several figures appear by the podium, figures clad in black with glinting silver on their sides. Inquisitors! They push through the crowd and form a circle around Patriarch Luke. One of these priests rises before the crowd. He is clean-shaven, tall, with chiseled features. Everyone falls silent at the sight of him. The Inquisitor speaks with a booming voice that can be heard by all. I am Father Ulrich. In the name of the twins and my right as an Inquisitor, I order you to turn around and leave. The words you are hearing are full of lies. Patriarch Luke is set out to poison your hearts and minds, and the Inquisition will not allow this heresy to spread. The only true path in life is the will of the twins. Life offers us no other choice. You are hereby ordered to disperse at once. Most people leave the square immediately if you want to get involved with the Inquisition. Some people stay, however. And some even shout angrily, "We want to listen to Luke. He's the Patriarch of Archnia, and he has more to say. Get away from our sermon, you old believers. We will not listen to you and your hoary old lies about the lots." Inquisitors, bring those who may yet listen back to their lots and leave the others to the champions of faith. The black-clad Inquisitors descend from the podium and approach the people who chose to stay. With nothing but their words, they make people stop shouting and start listening. The uproar ceases quickly. They have dissected the crowd, split it in smaller groups that surround each Inquisitor. One of these Inquisitors chooses to approach you. He's a humble-looking man of age with a rough haircut. He looks at you straight in the eyes. His lively, soulful voice forces you to listen to his words despite yourself. My name is Father Jeremiah. I know your thoughts were stirred by the Patriarch's words. You are not sure whom to trust. But I teach at the seminary. I have been studying the teachings of the twins my entire life. You can trust me. I know you can hear what I have to say. I see the light in your eyes, the light of true faith. Will you listen to my counsel, son? You feel no malice in the words of the Inquisitor Jeremiah, only hope. It is his lot to aid you, to guide you from the way of error and set you on the path of true faith. He is a priest, so he should know the truth, or perhaps the Inquisitor himself is in the wrong. Ooh. I'm not gonna debate him. I don't have the skills for that. I'm gonna resist him. Get some diplomacy going. You strike a pose of authority and eye Father Jeremiah sharply. Inquisitors cannot order people around, you say. It is not within the lot of the clergy. Only nobles can give you orders. The other commoners look at you in terror. You have just defied an Inquisitor. However, Father Jeremiah still looks at you without any of the anger you had expected. My son, your words do indeed contain a germ of truth. I am an Inquisitor of the clergy, and by will of the twins, I cannot give you any orders. But know this, the Inquisition does not imprison everyone suspected of heresy. We exist to protect souls, to guide and save them. We pursue dangerous doctrines and seek to rescue every soul we meet. Arrest or execution is our last resort, reserved only for sinners beyond redemption. You can see that I am merely speaking to you right now, and I have not resorted to force, nor am I giving you any orders. But if the need arises, I will summon the champions of faith, nobles who will be there to give orders and punish those who divide the church. But as long as you are not calling for the overthrow of the faith, you are safe from them. And as you said, it is not within my lot to give you orders. You are free to go, but expect no mercy in hereafter, for after we die, there will be none. With a bitter smile, the Inquisitor leaves you and proceeds further. You leave the square freely, your dignity preserved. The remaining people in the square continue arguing with the other Inquisitors. Armed champions of faith stand nearby, but they do not intervene. Luke and his retinue can no longer be seen. Only the thing that keeps nagging you, Father Jeremiah's word about how there will be no mercy in the hereafter. Patriarch Luke's sermons have converted many commoners and nobles of the mantle to the new faith. There are now several temples in Eterna that follow new canons with Luke's blessing. This has led to no small amount of anger among the followers of the old faith. Two mighty bishops of the church lead the new faith. One of them is Luke, the Patriarch of Archnia himself. Spiritual mentor of the capital province, he preaches all across Archnia, his every sermon adding to the new faith's flock. The other leader of the new faith is Patriarch Junius Daimon. Hailing from a great Archnian dynasty, he is the de facto ruler of Histinia province, adored by his subjects. He only found the Holy Order anew. Junius Daimon rarely preaches, but people believe that a Histinian Patriarch attends to the need of all who convert to the new faith. The schism within the church is growing. The split has furthered the divide between the commoners and the nobles, though thankfully there has been no direct conflict as of yet. But it has become clear that there is no way to stop the steady advance of the new faith. Born from the death of Patriarch Photis, it grows stronger by the day. My man's became a martyr. Oh, excuse me. Alright. The church, it's a schism. We're in a schism right now. And orders in discontent. The city that never sleeps. The next few weeks pass by in hard work and preparation for the coming entrance exam at the Imperial College. You grow more and more exhausted with each passing day, so much that one night you fall asleep while studying another book. When you finally come to, you decide it's high time to get some recreation outside. The city of Eterna amazes you as you stroll through its splendid streets. It is another night, a different night, yet the city is beautiful still. The shining pillars is a slice of light against the dark night sky. The lamps on facades of the buildings are lit. Night descends on the capital. You don't feel like going back to your books tonight. Recently, you made the acquaintance of several young men. They are children of nobles of the mantle just like you, sent to the capital to earn their noble titles at the college. You decide to seek them out. Your new friends are having a late dinner on the street over, loudly discussing their plans for the night. Some speak eagerly of a dueling club where you can see the most skilled ardent duelers in the Empire doing what they do best. You have never seen professional duelers fight. It must be far more exciting than the father's fencing lessons or that fight in the ruins in Anazot. And if luck favors you, perhaps you can even make useful contacts among the noble families in the capital. The others try to convince the rest of them to take a trip to certain secret salon. The establishment is expecting a guest tonight. It's a young lady who speak about the true state of affairs in the Empire. There are many questions about the nature of the place, and identity of the mysterious speaker, but the young men only have one answer. They are forbidden to speak about this outside the club. However, they can take you there as long as you aren't afraid to learn a dangerous truth. There are others still drinking their fill of wine rather than eating. Fencing, they say? Speeches? Nonsense. The place you ought to go tonight, they claim, is the Markian Society, a gathering for those of common estate but uncommon opinions that offer pleasures for everyone. Pleasures of the palate, pleasures of drink, pleasures of the flesh. Is this not heresy and a crime? Perhaps, and yet some of your newfound friends are eager to go there. In the end, your group splits into three to spend the night as they see fit. What will it be? A contest featuring the best fencers in Eterna? An establishment both mysterious and dangerous? Or an encounter with the people who defy their lot with audacity? Ooh. I want to go to the dueling club because it sounds fun. The dueling club. You march down the street towards the dueling club, which is located in a manor house decorated rather modestly on the outside but lavishly on the inside. One of your newfound friends nods to the servants and they let you in. The rooms are stuffy, noisy, and filled with tobacco smoke. The sitting room is enormous. In the center is an arena, a circle with wooden railings. Two young nobles are fighting there already. You take a glass of wine from a servant and watch the fight from one of many soft chairs. You cannot bear a sword yet, but nobody says you cannot watch. As soon as a dueler is wounded, the fight ends, but the way they fight still makes the audience gasp and scream in awe. When the dueler is too slow to dodge, but the duel ends with a bright red line cut through his sweat-soaked white shirt. The thin fencing swords cut through the air so quickly you only see glints of flashing steel like lightning in a storm. You do your best to remember all the feints and tricks you see tonight. They will come in handy when you earn your own sword. But then, a tall young Archnean enters the room. He barges in from behind you and leaps into the arena between the two fencers, thus ending the duel. He bears the coat of arms with a griffin. This Archnean hails from the great dynasty of Orgriff. The Archnean's voice booms as he challenges everyone in the audience to a duel. He sneers smugly, "If you consider yourself nobles, then how about you face an Archnean lord in honorable combat?" No one moves, no one dares to step forth. A duel with an Archnean is suicide, especially if that Archnean hails from one of the great dynasties. Such a duel would end with a lesser death at best, or a true death through trial and execution at worst. Everyone knows punishment for spilling blue blood, so everyone remains silent. Archnean grins. So humans are cowards, he says. You will never be true nobles. You are never ready to risk a lesser death. An Archnean honor and tradition is not for you, and war is not your domain either. For human nobles are but a mockery, a gathering of animals dressed to resemble higher beings. Oh, he's trying to get under my skin. Man leaps onto the arena as tall as a tree, pockmarked, his face white with rage, covered in scars. There are whispers of reverence in the audience. This is Marth Ferasti, the owner of the club. He has accepted the challenge for the honor of all human nobles and has yearned to fight Archnean all his life. Now is his chance. Duelists salute each other and Sir Ferasti begins the attack. A lunge, a jab, another, and then another. The young Archnean deflects each attack like he knows his opponent's every move. Sir Ferasti's eyes twitch with tension. The owner of the club lunges again, but the Archnean deflects his sword and rips the weapon out of the human's hands. Marth Ferasti looked at the Archnean in confusion, then bows his head in recognition of his defeat. The Orgriff youth flashes a proud, superior grin. His fencing sword lifts the sleeve of the defeated opponent and bears 3 black marks of lesser death. Now the young Archnean's eyes Sir Ferasti with a mockery of sadness and compassion. Why, it appears the poor, overeager ex-commoner is on his last life. Ferasti shudders. He asks the Orgriff not to be so kind and spare his life, nobleman to nobleman. The Archnean's face grows dark and grim. His sword stabs deep into Ferasti's chest. And then the Orgriff youth speaks loud enough for everyone to hear. He is the only noble in this hall, he says, and everyone who saw this must forget the dueling club ever existed and leave this place, never to return. The nobles scowl, dress reluctantly, and leave with quiet resentment. No one dares to defy the Archnean openly. The noble gathering disperses outside. You return to your lodging house, lost in thought. Archneans stand far above humans. They do not care if you are a commoner or a high-ranking noble. In their eyes, you are only a human. It seems there is nothing that can readily oppose Archnean power. They are the masters of this world, and humans are pale reflections of them at best. Your trip to the dueling club ended on a grim note when you learned a lot from watching Eterna's best duelers in actions. You recall their lunges and blocks before you sleep, rather than the master of the dueling club being murdered in cold blood. You're on your way to the largest library in Eterna to study for your entry exams. It's right next to the college. The streets are full of people, everybody's excited. You hesitate for a few seconds and let your curiosity get the better of you, and head towards the place where you'll soon study. Before long, you hear the shouting. The great chancellor is about to give a speech before the future of the empire. You cannot possibly miss this. You mix with the crowd and soon find a convenient place to listen and watch what is about to unfold. On the steps of the college, you see a small tribune guarded by 2 Archneans with armed swords. This is the first time you have ever seen Archneans standing guard, let alone 2 of them. The doors of the college open to reveal a stately Archnean surrounded by an honor guard. It is he, Cornelius Tempest, great chancellor of the empire, younger brother to the emperor himself. He heads for the tribune and casts a look over the square. It's full of people in awe and utter silence. Cornelius Tempest. Long ago, humans witnessed the Archneans' arrival. The nations built the empire side by side. The provinces joined us by one, and Magra was the final province to attain the absolute might and majesty of the blessed Archnean Empire. Yet there was another great event long before that. 1,000 years ago, the twins had graced us with their presence. With their arrival, the twins granted us their will. They showed us their love and their law. They granted us knowledge that awaits us here in the hereafter. They chose the destiny of Tempest to rule the empire. From that day forth, our dynasty has ruled this land, ordained by the gods themselves. However, it is our duty to the twins to not seek power for power's sake, but rather to lead the empire to further prosperity. And so Great Imperial Council is soon to review and adopt a new set of laws called the Creed. Under the Creed, all estates will be granted rights. Under the Creed, there will be one law for all Imperial citizens to obey, human or Archnean, from the lowliest commoner to the Emperor himself. The strife among the estates will end. A single law will resolve all of our quarrels. Glory to the Empire. The Great Chancellor throws his arms into the air. The crowd murmurs and applauds in approval. Cornelius Tempest casts another look over the crowd and leaves. The crowd disperses. The sounds of agitated discussion are everywhere. Is it true that the Emperor's dynasty seeks to grant equal rights to all estates? What will happen to the Empire then? It's early morning. You have been awake since sunrise, studying. There's a knock at the door. Is it a letter from home? Or a hotel servant? You open the door, freeze, stunned. Sophia. I forget who that is. Sophia? Right. I think I set her free or some shit. Hello, Brante. Oh, grown up now looks different. You wouldn't recognize his blue eyes no matter what. Gesture for her to come in. Sophia enters the room, glances around, and sits in an armchair. You eye the girl you used to know as you sit across from her. But the young woman you see now has little in common with the girl you used to know. There is cold steel in the way she looks at her things, and her hair is cut short. But what is she doing there? I can explain. I've been living in Eterna for a long time now, ever since I ran from Anazote. I heard the other day that you'd left for the capital to get into a college, so I found you. Here I am. You ask how Sophia learned about your arrival and where you were staying, but she answers your questions with an enigmatic smile. We will get to that later. Right now, I want to see how much you've changed since we last saw each other. As for me, I've changed a lot. I'm a whole different person now. You look away as you recall your previous encounter back when Sophia ran away from her Archean master. Sophia chuckles as she continues. Would you like to know what happened next? I traveled through the entire empire all alone. I had nothing. My journey ended only when I reached this place, the capital, with all its important people and events. This is the heart of the empire. It's a place where I can make a difference. I made friends here, found people I can truly call my family, and I even got an education of sorts, and I have a purpose now. I fight against injustice. I fight against the lots. I fight those who treat our lives like mud on the pavement. And no, I'm not afraid to tell you that. I came to you for a good reason. I need help. I know you. I have faith in your good heart. And besides, this is also about the Imperial College you want to enroll in. There is a scholar there by the name of Bartholomew Dextra. He teaches natural sciences at the college. Dextra is an old man, but he's quite progressive. He'll stop at nothing to advance science and acquire new knowledge. As you know, only second-generation nobles or above are allowed to teach at the college, but Dextra, he's a commoner. He forged his patent of nobility to get a position at the college. But the secret chancellery recently learned of this. Dextra is about to face true death for this forgery. But how is that justice? A man wants to teach people, and for this they're going to take all his lives? They're going to punish him for the crime of being born in the wrong estate? It's evil and obscene, and I will not stand for it. Dextra deserves to be rescued. But I don't want to put anyone in danger, so I need your help. You're from a rich family, you're almost a noble. If you can help me get Dextra out of this city, nobody will suspect anything, no one will know, and the scholar will live on to continue his research elsewhere, far away from the secret chancellery. Will you help me? Feel perplexed by Sophia's sudden request. She is asking you to break imperial law and undermine the work of the secret chancellor to save the scholar. Rescuing Dextra would be an adventure, but it would also be incredibly dangerous. And besides, Dextra is a fake noble. He resorts to lies and deceit to get his current position. How much does this matter to you? Sophia's blue eyes are studying you, waiting for your reply. Gonna help her. Does not deserve this. He has to leave the capital. She can count on me. I knew I could count on you. We must act at once. There is no time to waste. Dexter is to be arrested tomorrow. Here's his address. Go there as soon as the sun sets. No one will suspect you. Dexter often tutors young men for the college entrance exams. Tell him the owl sent you. Use the back door to get out. A carriage will drive up to the backyard. The driver will hoot like an owl. He'll take you to the south gate. If the guards stop the carriage, just talk your way out of it. Once you're outside the city, Dexter will ride away in a different carriage. You'll go back the same way you came. I'll meet you in Majesty Square. You nod to her words and your hands start to shake. You're about to go against the secret chancellery. You're going to help someone escape punishment. To defy your own lot like this, it's unthinkable. When the sun sets, you leave the lodging house and walk quickly, glancing over your shoulder repeatedly. Bartholomew Dexter's house must be somewhere around here. You find the place. A genteel old man opens the door. His face is covered in wrinkles, his shoulders are stooped, and yet his eyes are sharp and lively. Bartholomew Dexter looks at you for a moment and asks why you have paid him a visit. You tell him you want to enroll in the college and are looking for a tutor. Dexter nods and invites you inside. Once you make sure no one else can hear you, you whisper to the scholar about the real reason for your visit. The secret chancellor will be coming for him tomorrow and he has to leave now to escape true death. Dexter freezes and turns to you. How do you know about him and the secret chancellery? You tell him that the owl sent you and has provided for his escape. As for the secret chancellery, they want him for forging a patent of nobility. The moment you utter Sophia's name, the lecturer calms down and starts packing for the journey. You watch him distractedly and notice that he lives in rather austere fashion. It does not take him long to pack. You hear the quiet clacking of wheels in the yard. Every wheel of a trip is to the backyard, the building. You see a carriage there. The driver hoots quietly. You get in. The carriage rolls down the road. There's a tense silence in the closed-off space inside the carriage. The scholar wrings his hands anxiously. Through the carriage windows, you see the massive city gate passing by. You are almost out of the city, but then a loud voice reaches you. Halt! The driver obediently halts the carriage. The two city gendarmes approach you. You leave the carriage to face the gendarmes before they can get a peek inside the carriage. They look over to you and ask where you're going so late at night. You tell them you are son of the judge and Magra, here to enroll in the college. Right now you wish to visit the estate of a newfound friend. To convince them further, you mention the name of a noble son you have become friendly with. Reach the carriage and wish you a pleasant trip. You drive along the high road until you encounter a peasant wagon. Dexter will take it to seek refuge far away from the capital. Before the two of you part ways, he pats you on the shoulder and tells you that you have done a truly brave deed. You return to the city without incident. You find Sophia in Majesty Square as agreed, sitting on a bench by a streetlight reading a book of some sort. She closes the book when she sees you and offers you her hand. So did everything go according to plan? You nod. We then earned ourselves a bit of free time. Let's go. You set off on a walk through the maze of narrow back streets. Finally, you have some time for questions. What happened to Sophia over the last 2 years? She was just a girl before, a servant. Now, how is she now a revolutionary? Sophia just smiles sadly. You've seen what I can do. I'm not just a girl. The Inquisition caught up with me when I ran away from Anazote. I ended up in the House of Humility, a dreadful place. I got collared. Do you know how it feels to lose your free will? Losing everything that makes you, you? She unclasps the tall shirt collar that had been hiding her neck this time, and you see the round mark from the anti-magic collar. They say a scar like this will remain even after a lesser death, but I got lucky. Patriarch Junius Daimon saved me. Daimon took me and the other mages from the House of Humility and removed our collars. He made me one of his attendants. He taught me that there is no lots. He told me that I am like this not because I am a freak, but because it's my nature. He told me I can find a path to the twins like anyone else in the world. And then I was taken. I mean, I got out on my own. I found my own lot to protect the common people from noble yoke, to help others who are as unlucky as I am. To fight for a different world, a world where everybody has equal rights, a world where mages don't get robbed of their will just because one aspect of their birth, a world where the nobles no longer tread upon the commoners. Yes, this is our dream, but we are still so far away from it. But I will keep moving towards it, and I'll stop at nothing. A strange, distorted expression appears on Sophia's face, but she quickly returns to normal. You keep walking until you are at your lodging house again. For a moment, you stand there, looking at each other. Then, suddenly, Sophia embraces you. For a moment, she remains still in your arms and whispers. You should join my cause. If we work together one day, we'll become a force to be reckoned with. I know you came here to find your way, but I'll never believe you really want to bind yourself to other people's laws and desires for the rest of your life. The path I walk is dangerous. It's almost hopeless, but it's worth living for. Please think about it. Goodbye. Then she withdraws as quickly as she did. Then she withdraws just as quickly and disappears in the dark streets of Eterna. You make your way back to your room, exhausted by the events of the day. Was this really just a single day in your life? And now I've gained sympathy with Sophia. Alright, so I'm now a conspirator and scheming, and I am a seasoned warrior.
I will never forget that day. For it was then that I chose the path I would walk for the rest of my life.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. There are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the Library of Eterna for hours, sometimes until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more, and finally the day comes. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today. The breeze is warm. You dress in your best outfit, a gray jacket and velvet culotte trousers. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You're leaving the lodging house and heading for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with each step. Your anxiety at the fact that your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart. The college is a majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it, you can already see several dozen people, young men, sons of nobles in the mantle, like you, waiting for the college's doors to open. Time slows to a crawl. At last, the doors open. A stately man dressed in a professor's mantle appears at the college entrance. He is the dean of the college. The students-to-be fall silent as the dean gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. The silence is interrupted by heavy footsteps and clanking armor. A squadron of warriors emerge near the college, led by Archnean officers. Their banner bears an image of golden grains. The noble militia of Monia province? What are they doing here? The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. One of the Archneans is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He is the leader of the militia. He locks the bar on the massive doors of the college into the place, and then proceeds to the stairs, addressing the crowd loudly. Commoner, before stands you Aegis of the Monroe dynasty, Archduke of Monia. By my will, the college is hereby closed and today's entrance exam is cancelled. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honor of rendering service to the Empire, a right that ought to be available only to the hereditary nobles of the sword. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not a trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and the other traitors to the Empire are indulging you in defacing the institution of the nobility for their lowly interest. Noble lot for those of lowly birth. How can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of the Imperial Order. Now turn away from the college this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Plow your fields, mend your boots, and work and suffer by your lot. If any of you dares to set a foot upon these stairs, you will be killed at once. The students-to-be meet this speech with stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing. However, the news of the Monoian noble militia, the college closing, spreads to the streets like wildfire. The more humans join the crowd, college students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be ennobled. The unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archduke Monroe's forces to take control of the college and defend your right to be a noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. This is a decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of this shameful illegal act by the Archduke's forces, you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You will need to break through the cordon, get inside the college, and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if their presence is strong enough. If you are ready to risk it all and fight for your right to nobility, you will have to lead the charge. People kept coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. A lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right paths. When a staged clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble militia and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the righteous commoners to return the preordained divine order lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods, as the priests utter these words, the crowd around you disappears. A vision appears before your eyes. The empire is ablaze. You see burning lands steeped in pain and despair everywhere. You look, rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell the soil is scorched by such a fire will never bear fruit again. The God-given visions demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world, but only a priest may speak to the twins and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troop of commoners moving quickly through the crowd. They are led by Sophia. As soon as she sees you, she signals them to stop. So you're here too, going to rush the college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They gave you the right to study here just to throw you a bone, and when going gets tough, your masters will take it all away. It's time for you to decide. We are the Lotless, and we are not putting up with the system any longer. We will fight for a new world. Are you coming with us? Are you going to submit to them? There are students and professors locked inside the college. For who knows how long Monroe will maintain this siege. And what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're going to go inside and pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny. The tension in the square is palpable and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through en masse. Surely they won't start a massacre. The Lotless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people of the college. All the while, the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. The college is your only way into the nobility. Only you can fight for your new lot and fulfill your destiny, fulfill your duty to your family. You can organize an offensive strong enough to get it in the college and thus seize your lawful right like a true nobleman. Yet the revelation of the wrath of God still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path. Standing with the priests, preaching what you've just seen, warning all of the dire danger on the path of warring estates, bringing the twins' word to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lotless, they expect you to join their struggle. They are waiting for you to cast off the old ways and the eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot, and your suffering will continue, but your suffering might just change this world. Ah, fuck. So I either become a proper noble, or I take the path of the Lotless. I don't want to stay a commoner, but I don't want to not support the Lotless. I'm gonna break through into the college. I don't think so. I mean, supporting the Lotless would be great and all, but I'm not trying to stick with what I have in case they fail. Going for my best interest here. We're breaking through the cordon into the college. You get to work. Recalling the books on the military tactics you used to study as a boy, you call out to the students and children of nobles around you and assume command. They hear you and they listen. You stand together in close formation and march towards the weakest link in the line of nobles. More people joining you along the way. A veritable phalanx of young men armed with nothing but determination against the noblemen's swords. The noble militia readies their steel. The Archean officer in command of this section halts you and orders you to turn back. You step forward and give him your reply. These people are here to study at this college as the Emperor himself has decreed. You have every right to fulfill the imperial law, and any nobles who dare to intervene will be defying Uther Tempest II himself. Your plan works. The officer hesitates when confronted with your words and your vigor. The noble militia is no longer ready to use their swords. This is your chance. You command your forces to focus their advantage in numbers for a singular push, and the militia line breaks. You reach the college gates. More people start running for the breach. The nobles get their bearings quickly enough to restore the line, but your phalanx is already inside. You waste no time even barricading the gate. You quickly tell them your plan. Block all the doors and windows with whatever comes to hand before Monroe's forces can get in. If they do get in, only the twins know what they will do. One by one, all the entrances are swiftly barricaded. The riot outside the college is calmed for a moment, it seems. Through an open window, you hear Monroe giving orders to his militia. The Archduke is forming a strong perimeter outside of the college, ready for a proper siege. The students and professors of the college go to the balcony to negotiate. You are among them. Surrender and leave this building. I am not here to kill or execute you. No loyal subjects will die by my hand. Humans boo and jeer at Monroe's proposal. The demon himself appears on the balcony. The imperial family established the college, he claims. You cannot defy orders given by the great Archean Tempest dynasty. And so the college remains besieged. The noble militia stands in a circle around the building, but there are no preparations for an assault. The outrage in the square continues. You remain in control of the college for the entire day, and the following night, but at sunrise, the Emperor's herald arrives in the square. He brings news. The Emperor is delighted to see Archduke Monroe in the capital, and yet he demands that the noble militia of Monroe vacate the square and allow classes to begin at the college. The besieged college celebrates the news. This is the work of Cornelius Tempest, great Chancellor, the Emperor's brother. He managed to convince the Emperor to order Monroe to withdraw. Even the Archduke of Monia, the most powerful noble lord in all of the Empire, cannot disobey a direct order from the Emperor. Still, the college would never have held out for an entire day without your phalanx, determination, and your daring plan. You, the people of the common estate, have secured your right to study and earn the noble lot. The college is open again, and the entrance exam will take place in a few days. You aren't nervous at all this time. All the lessons at home, the books, schooling, your own noble actions, all that work and effort has finally reached its culmination. The procedure for appointing provincial overseer, the Grade 5 Archean dynasty, is the property rights of all estates. You answer all these questions with ease. Hours pass, and the dean of the college reads the names of the new students to the young men gathered at the college steps. Your name is among the first. He praises what you did in defense of the college. People like you are the Empire's future, Sir Brante, he says. Sunlight fills the college square. It feels so soft and soothing here in Eterna, not as harsh as it gets in Anazote. You watch the pillars shine in the sky as you walk down the steps of the college. You are a Brante, the third judge in the family, the man who will soon join the family's noble blood tide. You have seized your right to achieve the nobleman's lot. You should write to Father now. He will be so proud of you. Hey! I am now following the path of a nobleman. Alright, so with this path, I can tell you right now, I'm definitely siding with the new faith. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. Takes you a moment to recognize Thomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace. Brant, hey, how are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down to the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep lone-born folks under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself now. As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. He's beaming with pride. You invite him in and chat while you pack. Thomas continues to relay the news to you as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10, can you imagine? Did pretty well in sparring and in sciences. It was all thanks to the help you gave me back in school in Anazote. I'll be studying the art of war now. And then it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you? You tell Thomas about what happened over the past few days and the path you've chosen. He remains quiet as you speak. Both of you realize that you may never see each other again. You know, Brant, here's what I think. You may have your own path in life, but you're my friend. We gotta make sure our friendship lasts forever, so no matter what happens to us. Here, I brought 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both rings and their wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter where fate takes them. What do you say? The 2 of you grew up side by side. Thomas, the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But would it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever, no matter what happens? The 2 rings made of plain brass lie in his open palm. If you wear these rings, you will be bound by ties of friendship for the rest of your life. Why can't I take the ring? Oh, wait, is my relations not good enough for them? That doesn't make any damn sense. It says it needs to be... Oh, less than or equal to 3. I have it higher, so I'm actually getting the better because I'm swearing an oath of friendship. Ah! I was confused. You take one of the rings from his outstretched palm. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even now you are walking in the same direction, toward a noble title. You as a judge and Thomas as a warrior. Nothing will ever tarnish your bond. You swear an oath of eternal friendship to Thomas. Thomas solemnly swears the same. You put the brass ring on your pinky, a perfect fit. Thomas follows suit. He starts beaming again. Now we're friends forever, for all eternity. We gotta celebrate this. Come, come. I know a place I gotta show you. Tastiest meat I've ever tried, Brant. My treat. The 2 of you go to a noble salon by the square of the Emperor Severin. Surrounded by tobacco smoke and mead bottles, you wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence, and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you will never lose sight of each other. Bound by friendship, baby! As soon as you are accepted into the Imperial College, you send a letter back home. The family replies quickly. Their letter arrives in under a week. Most of it is covered with your father's handwriting. I am proud of you, my son, and I believe your grandfather takes pride in you too. You have brought our family one step closer to being ennobled by the sword. You will make an excellent judge. I have complete faith in your intellect and your will. You shall bring glory to our family. Stefan's congratulations follow your father's. Congratulations, brother. The simple folk could only dream of what you have already achieved. You can thank father and grandfather for this opportunity, but it was you who proved yourself worthy. Once you receive your new lot, you and I will be equals at last. Then some words of praise from Mother and Nathan. You have brought your father much joy and made him proud, and I am witness to this. You will now walk this path, all thanks to him. Yet it saddens me that you did not consider the divine seminary where you could have dedicated your life to our gods as well as the empire itself. You worked so hard for this. We held a big feast in your honor back home. I hope you achieved all you've ever wanted. At the very end, there's a small note from your sister. Congratulations. Good luck. It's only a few days since you became a student at the college, your education has barely begun when an amazing piece of news surprises all of the students. Every year, Cornelius Tempest, the great chancellor and the emperor's younger brother, grants an honor to all future nobles of the mantle and invites them to a masquerade at his summer palace. The professors and lecturers instruct you to look and act your best in order to preserve the college's honor. They tell you more about the ball, too. All who attend it from the college must prove themselves with word or deed that members of the great Archean dynasties will be present there. This means the reputation of your home province will be at stake, too. It's time to get ready. You order a proper suit for the occasion and a mask to go with it. It looks so simple, but by no means plain, and only hides your eyes. The day comes, you spend an entire morning preparing for the ball. Your fellow students give you hints about how to attach the cuffs, keep the collar straight, and make sure your hair remains coiffed for the entire night. Soon, the carriages start flocking to Cornelius Tempest's summer palace. The tall, ornate outer fence surrounds the sprawling garden in full bloom. The marble-paved driveway is so wide it can accommodate 2 rows of carriages. You and your fellow students walk up the massive stairs to the front door of the palace. You seem tiny and incongruous against the background of this scenic grandeur. The Master of Ceremonies instructs all newcomers to seek their province's coat of arms. You see the banner of Magra from far away, depicting a silver tree digging its roots into the murky gray soil. Below it is a banner bearing the coat of arms of Millenidus dynasty. Turns out students from the college were not the only ones invited to the party. You see Academy cadets lined beneath them banners too, and Thomas is among them. A wide grin appears on his face when he sees you go under the banner of Magra. I just knew you'd be here today, pal. What can I say? Congratulations, student. As for me, I'm not so bad off myself, see? The military academy is father and mother to me now. His merry speech is interrupted by a tall, proud Archean in heavy clothes. You recognize him. He is Doris Odin, Sophia's former master. Make way for your commander, soldiery. The last time you saw Otten, he was searching the back streets of Anazot by your house for a girl servant. But now the young Archean's uniform betrays his high standing. He is young, yet he is already the province's commander. Who put him in charge of all the military forces at Magra at such an age? What's wrong? You know him or something? A brief description of Otten is enough to wipe the smile off his face. You see no other high-ranking officials bearing the same colors of Magra at this party. It seems Doris Otten will be the main representative of your province tonight. You watch the other college students and academy cadets line up under the provincial banners. The blue and silver banner of Archnia, the emperor's own province, is in the very center of the hall. Judging by the hilts jutting out from beneath their belts, many of those who surround that banner are nobles of the sword. Thomas is clearly jealous. The group from Archnia stands proudly, ennobled by its iconic and dignified history. The Archean race and empire originated in their very lands. A sizable group of students stand under the banner of Monia, a wealthy agricultural province signified by yellow grains on a field of ore. A field of ore. Ore? The wealth of the young men beneath this banner is plain to see. Their attire is on par with the Arcanians in terms of luxury and perhaps even more vibrant in terms of color. God, this is a lot of reading. The most numerous group at the party stands under the banner of Illyria, a yellow griffin against a field of azure. All the Illyrians are clothed in well-tailored suits with a minimum of decoration. Some of them wear gloves, most of them come from wealthy industrial families, and it seems many of them would feel more at ease in their family factories rather than in a noble party like this one. 3 banners represent the northern provinces of Fiona, Hermia, and Constanta. These banners, like the groups associated with them, stand together. The Royal Tempest dynasty oversees all 3 of them. The students and cadets are clearly well off, and yet they are dressed in modest, functional garments to honor the austere traditions of the North. Oh, Jesus, there's another group! And finally, the smallest of groups is represented by an open book against the field of Argent. Astinia, homeland of Daimont dynasty, by the order of Patriarch Junius Daimont. The open book of New Faith has been added to the banner only recently. Nearly all of the young men beneath this banner are clothed in academy uniforms. They wear no adornments but are clad impeccably with nary button undone, the embodiment of rigor and restraint. The master of ceremonies signals the beginning of the party. It is time for dancing. The first dance is a minute. A tradition calls for everyone to dance. Harpsichord music fills the hall. The academy cadets waste no time finding dance partners and soon are already making the fluid first steps to the moonette. Take a look around. One of the young ladies representing Magra catches your eye. She is slender like all Arcanians, clothed in a yellow dress embroidered with emerald green, her face hidden behind a full mask decorated with bright green feathers. What happens next seems unbelievable. The enigmatic lady walks towards you, the way she looks at you, the way she walks. The black eyes from behind the mask watch you closely. She tilts her head. There are no words, but you feel there is a question. Everyone in the hall is startled by sudden noise. You look behind you, see Thomas getting up off the floor, his face a grimace of rage. Dorius Otten stands before him, eyeing him with disgust, his arm rests on the hilt of his sword. Who allowed this clumsy commoner inside the Great Chancellor's palace? Its noble masters are trying to dance, and it's getting underfoot. Thomas looks like he's about to explode in Otten's face, but the smug Arcanian's word is a clear threat. If your friend's rage gets the better of him, he will end up in trouble. The enigmatic Arcanian beauty, however, quickly loses all interest in their quarrel. She even comes closer to you, expecting you to invite her to dance. Oh, fuck. Fuck, my friend or my life? Fuck. I don't want to... I want to save my friend, but I don't want to start a scene at this fucking party. Fuck, this is a hard choice. Sorry, Thomas. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to make more important decisions later. You turn your head towards the Arcanian beauty and offer her your hand, taking care not to rush your movements. A moment later, her fingers gracefully come to rest in yours. The masked lady's touch feels electric against your skin. You walk together to the center of the hall where other couples are already dancing. You bow and she makes a curtsy. Her hands are incredibly thin. They seem so delicate. You fear you might snap them if you squeeze too hard. You adjust to her steps, counting the rhythm of the music. Your lady for the dance is an Arcanian, a noble born to rule, and yet this is a dance where you must take the lead. As you walk around her, your eyes catch an embroiderment ornament on the arm of her dress. You spy many thin emerald threads, all interwoven into a pattern of interlocking snakes. This young woman is Octavia Melendez, the daughter to the Archduke of your home province. The minute ends. You bow to the lady and offer her to accompany her wherever she chooses before the next dance. Alright, then be so kind as to accompany me for another dance. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're dancing. We dancing in this bitch. Sorry, Thomas. We have a bond of friendship. We'll still be friends. You can suck it up. Take an L for once. Shouldn't have caused a scene. Well, you know, that is almost over too, and I'll let you go. She does not accept another invitation until she has danced with you 3 times. You spot Thomas in the crowd during the break. He catches your eye and salutes you with a wine glass. Judging from his lopsided grin, Otten must have had him removed from the dance floor. But any concern for your friend is forgotten. And, well, no, I'm still concerned. What the fuck? I am ready to do fucking anything. You have lived another year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the Trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. Jesus Christ. The accused spoke in favor of reducing power of the nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There was no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It is a show of power made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. You attend one of these sessions. The 50 face their verdict: forced labor in the mines of Magra and Nalaria for regular members, and true death for their leaders, 6 men and 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in a central square of Eterna. You remember the woman. Her name was Ani Sarin. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain with the long bangs over her eyes. She looked calm even at this moment. You could not believe she is about to leave this world forever. Ani Sarin takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but are close enough to hear every single word. She says she is happy to give her lives fighting for the rights of people. Her cause will never die. Ani claims that others like her will continue work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. She is dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten the noose around her neck. The hand yanks on the lever and the 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. Oh, Jesus. Ugh, fuck. Your studies at the Imperial College may have begun with a luxurious party, but soon you settle into a routine of lesson after lesson. Along with dozens of other future judges, you spend hours listening to lectures in spacious college halls with high ceilings. You study imperial law and legislation, analyzing every technicality and interpretation. The subjects only get tougher, and the instructors grow ever more demanding as your studies continue. Yet law is not the only thing you study. There are other disciplines as well, such as rhetoric and orthography. A true judge must have perfect command of both the spoken and written word. Washing dark blue ink off your fingers becomes an indelible part of your daily routine. All of your classes, you find the fencing lessons particularly exciting. Every lesson covers your body with more cuts and bruises and makes your muscles ache from exertion, but your childhood dream is worth it. And finally, upon the shipwreck in the sun is a handful of days of rest and recreation. You meet Thomas to discuss how you're going to spend this time. You're coming with me tonight. No excuses, Brant. We'll be paying a visit to our mentor, Baron L. Croix. It's time you learned a thing or two about how we do things in the military. Your friend looks very cunning and pleased with himself when he says this. With a sigh, you change out of your college uniform into your best clothes and follow him. Thomas rushes you to a 2-story house somewhere with a noble neighborhood in the capital. Its windows are open and you can hear people talking over each other. The house's sitting room is filled with young people, at least 24 men, almost all of them academy cadets. In the middle of the sitting room is an armchair. In this armchair is a gentleman wearing the uniform of an official. Let me back up. In the armchair is a gentleman wearing the uniform of an Imperial Legion officer and smoking a pipe. His thick hair falls over his large, observant eyes. Baron Elcroy welcomes the two of you with a slight nod and continues his speech while everyone listens respectfully. As I was saying, young men, I firmly believe that the days when all the military glory of the Empire belonged to Archean dynasties are long gone. Human nobles have been serving the Emperor at least as well as the Archean nobles for a long time now. Still, the Archeans keep acting like their origins are more important than honor and service to the crown. Take the Melanidas dynasty, for example, the Archduke of Magra. Long ago, their leader Melanidas fomented a rebellion against the rule of Tempests and the Twins' faith. He sucked all the life from his own land, doomed thousands of his own subjects, and yet Melanidas dynasty still rules over Magra like nothing ever happened. Then suddenly, Sir Elcroy flashes a cunning grin. I think this calls for a test of your strategic thinking, young men. But first, let me refresh your memory on the rebellion of Char Melanidas. It may seem surprising, but we have him to thank for our current status. He was the first to ennoble humans, an act of unprecedented insolence, but it gave rebellious Duke immense support in his province. He risked his own reputation and title to make himself stronger thanks to humans, and in that he succeeded. No one had ever dared challenge the rule of the Archeans and Tempest before, but the rebellion of Magra changed everything. Humans became a part of the nobility. We got a taste of power only the Archeans could wield before, and unless I'm mistaken, most nobles in the Empire these days are human. Why, we outnumber the members of the Archean dynasties dozens of times over. So Char Melanidas had a complete rule and control over the lands of Magra. He had loyalty of his ennobled human subjects, and he had loyalty of the mages and witches who fled to Anazode, the only place in the Empire where they could hide from the Church. The Archduke of Magra had everything he needed to win, and yet two pivotal changes brought him down. First of all, he cast a magic spell that incinerated the entire province. It certainly stopped the Imperial legions in their tracks, but the population of Magra would no longer side with Char Melanidas after that. Second, the clergy struck at the rebellious Duke with the power of the twins. His magic was gone, and his main advantage was no more. Many fled, but as you know, it still took the Empire an entire month of siege before the Palace of Anazote was taken. After the rebellion of Magra, the Empire changed drastically, and most importantly, humans finally received their lawful right to be ennobled. And I'd like to stress that in particular, ennobled not by birth, but by the virtue of their own knowledge and talent. History, young men, is more than just memory of the past. It is also a lesson for our future. I believe that part of our history proves my point. And now, a test. Tell me, if you were among Imperial strategists during the rebellion, what would you have done? How would you have fought an enemy as powerful as Char Melanidas? With this, Sir Elcroy leans back in his armchair, takes a pull from his pipe while the cadets start discussing. Some take no time to say that they cannot believe Sir Elcroy thinks humans were first ennobled by serving rebellious Duke. Others say the prolonged palace siege might have been a mistake and storming the palace would have been a better choice. Soon, ideas start flying. Some cause only laughter while others lead to debate. They are discussing the past of Anazote, the past of your hometown. You cannot possibly stay silent right now. If you were in command of the Imperial legions back then, what would you have done? Ah, fuck! Based on what you know about the rebellion of Magra, you see three potential strategies. The first of all is calling upon the twins' miracles to rob Melanidas of magic and render him powerless. Second entails putting your faith in the discipline and valor army in frontal assault. Third means drawing out the siege while making the enemy's life as hard as possible through cunning. I think I would have sieged that bitch. Well, I'm gonna open a window. It's hot as balls in my room. We lay siege. You decide it's time for you to answer, Sir Elacroix. Proper way to bring down the castle of Anazil would have been through the prolonged siege, you say. Lands of Monger could no longer feed the warriors of Charmelandus at that stage of rebellion. When their supplies eventually ran out, they would have opened the gate from the inside. Sir Elacroix looks at you, studying you attentively. I agree with what you're saying, young Brante, in a sense. Had Imperial forces done that, they would have lost fewer men and kept the Palace of Anazote intact. Yet you are missing my other point here. Melandus' army would have continued fighting, even emaciated by the siege, even with their numbers dwindling. True, some did flee, but those who stayed to defend the city and castle, even after Imperial forces broke in, remained loyal to their lord until the very end. Long ago, only Archnians had the right to wield weapons and wage war, but now humans can prove their merit, earn the same right. Humans like ourselves. And the present empire has grown even stronger thanks to its new warriors and functionaries. These days, humans can judge, rule, and create. The terrors wrought by the rebellious Duke are undeniable, yet his rebellion created new possibilities for all of us. And this, young men, is the moral of the story. Charmelandus was defeated, but not by the clergy and their prayers, and not by the noble militias assembled by other archdukes. He was vanquished by the Imperial Legions, a unified army with clear regulations and ranks from the chain of command, an army that is strong in discipline and loyalty to the Emperor. Fuck! Oh. I'm not used to doing this much yapping. My jaw's getting tired. His eyes finally move away from you and back to the rest of the young men in the hall, but nobody else dares to argue with the battle-hardened officer. The evening continues. Sir Elacroix shares some of his war stories, each more astounding than the last. For the rest of the night, you are out of the Baron's center of attention, and so you join Thomas and the other cadets in sipping wine and enjoying his tales. You return to the college long after midnight. You often recall Baron Elacroix's story about the rebellion of Charmelandus after that. The rebellious Duke lost the war, and yet he brought about drastic changes for humans and the Empire.
Yeah.
I am a dangerous one. There are days when you receive letters from home. Father's writings is very reserved. He mostly discusses events and work, and Margaret writes very little about the family. Ugh. Makes me proud that I have managed to teach Stefan how to handle our affairs at home. Her older brother behaves impeccably at the society balls and receptions that we host. He has already made several crucial acquaintances. But Gloria has a different opinion of Stefan. She thinks your older brother is taking more and more after grandfather. Stefan is a lot like grandfather. It's in his manners, his posture, his voice. He even dresses just like him. He used to be aloof around me, but we've barely talked in the past. And now he always blames me and tears me apart. I can't take it anymore. He walks all over me. Walks all over me all the time and treats me like a housemaid. Barely managed to graduate from school. It's sad to admit that Nathan has none of the talents you have. You'll live days when we wouldn't even try to study in the capital because you won't be able to pass the exams. I find solace in only the nights Nathan and I spent together reading scriptures. His sister and younger brother write about Mother too. They say the same thing about her health. She spends more time locked away in her chambers to brood. Gloria does her best to accompany Mother when she leaves home. Nathan's letters mention her steps echoing in the halls in the middle of the night. There is one more thing Nathan mentions in his letters. Stefan and Gloria have been fighting very often these days. Stefan always tries to get under Gloria's skin and she answers him in kind, and Stefan calls her a lowly commoner to make her shut up. You tremble in excitement each time you see a new letter, the seal of your home province. Your fate is bound tightly to your family, no matter the distance between you. You will become a judge one day, so you're sent to the prefecture of Eterna to be mentored by a more experienced colleague. Your mentor is a judge of considerable age, a noble with a mantle with a proud bearing about him. He never misses a chance to remind you that being mentored by such an experienced man of office is a great honor. Your mentor entrusts you with his minor cases, and to his great joy, his night shift. Another night begins. The office is growing darker. You are still there, zealously filling out the paperwork for the day. Petty theft, a verbal assault against a noble with the sword by a commoner. A fine for the parents of children who covered an imperial institution with obscene drawings. Petty cases, all of them, but they are real. Cases a judge has to face, and so you sit there carefully comparing complaint statements and witness testimonies. Then the door of your office swings open. A gendarme drags in a provocatively dressed girl. Her golden hair is undone and her makeup is a fiery red. Girls like her sell their bodies in houses of ill repute. The next to enter the office is a stout priest, his face adorned by a nose of remarkable shape and a huge wart on his cheek. You do your best to his ugly. The gendarme gives his report. The girl was arrested with a certain gentleman in the park by the Temple of the Twins. They were committing acts of carnality, affront to the faith. While huffing and puffing, the priest interrupts and starts yelling. He saw her doing magic, he did. The gentleman was enthralled by the girl and he was glowing like a lamppost. You gesture for the priest to stay quiet and ask if the gendarme can prove this. The gendarme only shrugs. He didn't see anyone glowing. He arrested the girl for her strict religious conduct alone. The man in her company was a noble, so the gendarme couldn't bring himself to arrest him. He does, however, remember his name. Puffing and puffing louder now. It was magic, he screams. You must refer to this case to the Inquisition. The witch is on the loose of the streets of the Empire, seducing men with her vile charms. The girl stays quiet all the while, her eyes are emerald green, twinkling with gold as she looks at you. When she does, her voice is soft, like smooth velvet. My name is Alice, Your Honor. All I did was obey the noble gentleman's wish. He wanted my affection right by the temple. I dared not oppose him. I did not defy my lot, did I? The wench looks up and meets your gaze as she says these words. Her eyes reflect the candlelight in the dust, sending sparks of gold across the walls. The gendarme stands awkwardly in the door, sighing. The priest goes off on another rant. You tell him to be quiet. The day is not over yet. You must decide how to resolve this unusual case on your own. The law says a judge must investigate all circumstances related to a case. You seem to know the name of the nobleman who was seen with this girl in the throes of the passion. The gendarme was afraid to question him, but you are a future nobleman yourself, a young judge. Surely you can find a way to resolve this matter with discretion to get the information you need from the nobleman. But perhaps this suspicious lady of evening, Alice, is at the heart of the matter. You have no doubt she will reveal her true colors if you question her. If the priest was right about her using magic, the girl's fate is sealed. Your Honor, what? Who's booing me? Who is booing me? Who's? How dare you? I'm getting booed. Wow. Wow. Ban this guy. Get him out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Wow, I'm getting booed now. I'm getting booed now. That's it. I'm letting this hooker go, and it's going to be your fault. That's right. I'm letting the hooker go. Actually, I should probably ask her. Wait. How high can my willpower even get? Shit, where's my tab? Here it is. Can only be 30 max, so it's not even worth it to release her. Oh shit, she dies. Well, I don't want her to fucking die. I don't want her to fucking die. I think I'm gonna find the nobleman. I'm not gonna release her yet. Because I can still rescue her either this way. I'm gonna find the nobleman. Take the girl to a holding cell. Her eyes are filled with chagrin and pity as the man takes her away. You compose a composite and polite throw a letter to Santiago to the nobleman seen with the girl in question. You delicately hint that his reputation will be safe and promise full confidentiality. Then come to the office next morning. You see a nervous young nobleman waiting at the door. You must be Judge Brante, he says. You meet Sir Couture with a dignified greeting and start questioning him on the case of Alice the harlot. Is it true the two of them ended up at the temple because Sir Couture's wish? But he barely remembered last night. He was quite inebriated and determined to have a good time. Spotted Alice by accident. She was standing under a lamppost by the temple. As for the temple park, he does not quite remember why he ended up there. Take his statement in accordance with established procedure. Next question. Would Sir Elcor say his mind was clouded by the young woman? The woman turns red and says, "Have you seen through the last yourself, Sir Brant? How could anyone ignore her?" Still, you ask, was there anything suspicious about her? He speaks slowly. Yes, it was though she could see his every desire, and he was happy beyond measure in her embrace. It felt like the gods themselves were smiling at him. Sir El Couture. Yet perhaps it was merely the wine and her beauty, and nothing else. You thank the young nobleman for his honesty and promise to keep the statement and carefully regard it secret. You sentence the harlot to 2 days in pillory for defiling a place of worship, and with her depravity, you find no reason to refer Alice to the Inquisition. However, you write case closed on Alice's file and put it in the archives. I saved the witch from being burned. Will I regret that decision later? I sure hope not. Two major events take place while you're busy living your life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the great chancellor of the Empire. He has been ousted and sent back to his province. Really? Oh, 1 second, my mother is calling. Alright, now who the fuck's calling me a mama's boy? A mama's boy? I am a mama's boy. I love my mama on Mother's Day. Ooh, my mom is the best mom. There's no argument. Nothing that will ever hear anybody else out. Alright, OJ. Damn, my computer fans are dusty. I just looked at it in my own webcam. My lighting in my webcam just screw up when I did that. Fuck. Yeah, I gotta clean that. Got a happy face now, though. Alright. Now the policy of the Empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new Great Chancellor will destroy the Imperial Code laws and the achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say the Great Chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by the mantle. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, now has an overseer. Gaius Tempest, the older brother of Emperor Uther II. Is my fucking Spotify playing? That's weird. Alright, anyway. Usually the overseer of a province is Archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the Emperor's will to the locals. Yet now this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Milandus is absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former Great Chancellor Cornelius Tempest. The nobles of the Emperor court say a stratagem by Arcanian gentry who want Gaius removed from court affairs along with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Milandus will be at each other's throats over the province. This does not bode well for the future. Only one thing is clear, Magra, your homeland province, is about to face great changes. Oh boy. Party music. Capital is preparing for a great celebration, the coming of age of Geryon Tempest. Heir to the throne, the streets being cleaned, the low-born merchants gone from the squares, and flags and flower garlands have appeared in the buildings. By the Emperor's decree, everyone will celebrate for the next 3 days. 3 whole days! 3 of them, bitches! 3 of them! 3 whole motherfucking days! Eterna is a buzz. A festive procession starts on the streets. Students from the college and cadets from the military will be there to show their gratitude to the Emperor's family for entrusting them with the power they wield. Ribbons and flags flutter in the wind. The streets are scrubbed clean and the scent of flowers fills the air. You march side by side with Thomas, carrying the banner of your province. Your friend's brown hair is unusually well combed today. He waves to every girl you see on the streets as you pass by. They giggle shyly, and some of them wave back. Alright, I gotta stop. Did you see that, pal? Look at that beauty. She just smiled at me. Now this is what I call living. I just love parades. Bro's a ladies' man. The throat's getting dry. The Tempest royal family observes the slowly approaching parade from the balcony of the Imperial Palace. They are joined by the Emperor's highest dignitaries and provincial overseers. You see Emperor Uther II with your own eyes there, high above, yet so close. Jump his ass! The column come to a halt to the balcony and the salute of the Emperor, the mottos of the college and the academy. You join the other college students in crying, "Learning is strength! Learning is will!" The Emperor raises his hand in a gesture of benevolent greeting. Oh, he looks so fucking happy to be here. His voice echoes across the square. I accept your gratitude, my loyal subjects. Take pride as you wield your knowledge and valor in service of the Empire. All who are worthy will be ennobled by the mantle by my grace. The future nobles around you cheer. Oh wait, this is the... I like the Tempest guy, I think. That's the guy I like. Future nobles around you cheer the Emperor's words, but the jubilation gives way to murmurs of discontent when the Archduke Monroe, the new Great Chancellor of the Empire, steps onto the balcony. Oh, eat a dick! I don't like you. Everyone here remembers all too well how the Archduke attempted to shut down the college by force. Still, Archduke is the de facto leader of the Arcane gentry. He's a force to be reckoned with, even for the Emperor, and so he is the Great Chancellor for now. Hail your Emperor, common folk! Be forever obedient and grateful for the good graces you do not deserve by birth. Archers and you bow their highest intent for the gathering below. Booed by the crowd, he rejoins the dignitaries in the back row. You notice one of them, a slender, elegant figure under an emerald banner of the Black Snake. She is Octavia Melandis, daughter to the Archduke of Magra. Now that's new. You noticed Octavia too, eh? Our Archduke Melandis set his daughter in his stead. That's a sign of disrespect for the Emperor, if I've ever seen one. Is he so enraged because he can no longer the overseer of Magra? I mean, you can imagine his surprise. That never happened before. But then the crowd goes silent. A young, slender Archnean with a shy smile comes forth. There are whispers in the crowd. That's Prince Gerion, heir to the throne! Ward of Cornelius, promise of hope to the common estate. Isn't that their next game? Am I misremembering that? Isn't the life of Prince Gerion the next game? That's gonna be me! That's gonna be me! That's gonna be me! That's gonna be me! I'm gonna be this guy! I'm gonna be this guy! That's gonna be me! Hooray! Casual lore drop. That's Prince Gerion, heir to the throne, ward of Cornelius, promise and hope of the common estate. To the left of Gerion is his younger brother, Flavius. He's baffled at the sight of the parade below, too young to process what he is seeing. Gerion Tempest. May the twins be kind to you, my future subjects. I promise to repay you in kind and help you prosper in your loyal service to the Empire. Which is yours. Oh, help Prince Gerion! Another figure steps into view, next to the air. Oh, excuse me, I keep burping. I feel it in my gut. He is Arcnean, elegantly dressed, and his mantle bears the Tempest colors. He reaches his arms about to make a speech, or raises his arms, not reaches. I can read. Thomas Guerrero. Oh, this is my boy. Dab him up. Alright, hey look, that's Gaius Tempest, the Emperor's brother, the new overseer of Magra, by the way. It seems that the Arcane elders want him as far from the throne as possible. Just like his brother Cornelius, those two have been promising too many freedoms to commoners like you and me. Long live Prince Gerion! Students of the college, cadets of the academy, time and time again, you have proven yourselves to the Empire by word and deed. Time and again. Oh, I time and time again. Same shit. Today is a great day of celebration in honor of Prince Gerion. You must ask the Emperor to guarantee forever the right distinguished common folk be ennobled by the mantle. So ask now. Follow the words of Emperor's own brother. The balcony high above Prince Gerion also remains still, awaiting a reaction from the crowd. Archduke Monroe briskly steps into view once more. He takes several seconds to observe the crowd before she speaks. Imperial subjects! What the Emperor's brother wishes to say is that you must always remember that you owe your status to the Tempest dynasty. The Emperor accepts your gratitude and sends you off with his blessing. You may leave now! But they call them stay where they are. That is not what Gaius Tempest said. Let the Emperor hear us the law. We ask for the law. commotion of learners spread over the crowd as the future nobles refuse to follow the Archduke's order. Shouts, "The law! We ask for the law!" The academy officers and teachers of the college urge them to fall in line and resume the parade, but tensions rise in the crowd slowly grows enraged and unruly to decide where you stand. I'm gonna demand my rights. The guys tend to stand for the law. You have the right to be heard. You have the right to ask. Your voice grows stronger. Soon others join you. The chant grows louder every second. The law! The law! Inspired with the support of your fellow students and cadets, you move through the square and urge others to join you. Thomas walks by your side, waving his arms wildly, inciting others to shout along with you. The law! The law! You, Thomas, and other vocal students and cadets gather in the very center of the square. Academy officers are trying to shout you to submission and order you back to the procession, but they barely heard above your chant. Still, some submit and form back into the columns. But the impassioned chant continues, and you are at the very heart of the chanting crowd. Imperial Guard cavalry regularly emerges from the palace. They slowly start advancing on the crowd, their hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. You have to stand your ground, so you start giving orders to defend the cobblestones beneath your feet with your fellow future nobles. You assemble into a double chain formation around the center of the square. It is so strong enough to prevent the Imperial Guard from reaching the very center. The commoners go running left and right away from the horses, but the cavalry stops when it reaches your double chain. They cannot break through unless they are ordered to attack, and so they halt and wait for orders. The horses paw at the cobblestones. The cavalry swords are strawn, ready to come crashing down upon your heads. It is a standoff between the armor-clad cavalry and the unarmed students and cadets. Emperor Uther II appears on the balcony again, joined by his brother Gaius Tempest and heir to the throne, Jarian Tempest. With a gesture, the Emperor calls for attention. The square falls silent at the sight of Sovereign. My subjects, I have heard your request. There is no need to repeat it again and again. The Great Imperial Council shall review my brother's proposal. Now follow your lot and obey my will. Enter the parade and sing praises to the ever-merciful Prince Jarian. These words from the Emperor are enough to quell the commotion in the square. The standoff ends, the cavalry withdraws. Well, would you look at that, you old friend? We did it. We stood up for our noble right and we won. That's the Emperor's word, and that's what our courage can do. Voices from the crowd are quick to disprove Thomas. The Emperor never gave his word. He only promised to review the proposal. People begin to argue around you again. This time, however, no one wishes to disobey the orders from on high, and so the student lined up into columns once again. The bout of defiance is in the past now, and everyone resumes the festive parade through the city streets. Glory to Emperor Uther, glory to Prince Jarian. I am now, or I'm not a dangerous enemy yet, but I will be if I gain one more. The way of the sword, your studies at the college come easily to you. Only now do you realize the importance of all the lessons you had to endure as a child at father's expense. Month after month you study the judge's trade, down to the smallest details, growing more confident in your new calling with every lecture. But there is more to your education than the judge's trade in imperial law. You also learn manners, a courtly etiquette, poetry, and compassion, even fencing. On some days you go with Thomas to a deserted patch of land to practice with the sword. Then finally the day of your judge's exam comes. You send your test results to father, and he replies with an appointment to a judge's office at the prefecture of Magra. Now you have a new life and a new profession back home. You will return to your hometown as a judge. It was early morning at the great temple of the twins. Your heart skips a beat as you step inside the temple. Feels like that day from your childhood again. The priest is standing at the altar and the temple is divided into two halves. You are no longer a frightened little child anymore. You are a grown man who is about to become a noble. The floor on the common side is there to cause pain. You feel the jagged edges even through the soles of your boots. This pain marks your final few seconds as a commoner. The piece stands before you, you kneel again, but now there is a warm, smooth marble under your knees. You hear the words spoken above your head. From this day forth, your lot is strength and will. From this day forth, you will rule and fight and pursue the arts. Now rise, noble. You place your lips on the smooth steel of the sword, and when you rise again, you realize the trembling you felt ever since your first sacrament is now completely gone. You arise a new man, your every motion now uncannily accurate, your thoughts surprisingly fresh, your muscles ready to face the fight. This day feels worthy of a poem, and now you can compose one if you wish. You touch your back, the mark of the lash from your previous sacrament is gone, completely erased forever. You hurry from the sacrament back to your room at the college. Your father's gift awaits you there, a sword, your very own sword. Now to celebrate! All college students are invited to college tournament, then a party. The sword feels wonderful in your hand, a promise of future victories. The tournament begins, the stands are loud with anticipation. Never in your entire life have you seen so many beautiful, noble ladies in one place. But there is only one who attracts everybody's attention, the raven-haired, black-eyed Octavia Milanides. The daughter of the Archduke Magra graced the tournament with a visit. She's wearing a dress of emerald green, her austere hairdo immaculate. She's surrounded by her ladies-in-waiting, all beauties in their own right. When a noble enters the tournament, he must announce the name of the lady whose honor he is fighting for. Many shout the names of their loved ones in stalls. You know that many would fight for Octavia Melendez, but the onus of responsibility is too great. You take a few jabs of the sword, warming up the fight. Soon as your turn, all eyes are on you now. The young lady Octavia hides her face behind a fan, yet her eyes watch you closely. So she becomes intrigued? Alright, I am going to dedicate my fight to my father. You approach the stalls and introduce after you announce your decision. You will find the name of your father, Robert Brante. You earn this noble title only because he taught you well, and honor demands you dedicate your victories to him. The stalls require, unlike the other fighters in the real, you are not fighting in a lady's name. The first fight begins. The rules are same as for any noble rule. Whoever draws blood first wins. Your foe's opponent does not put much of a fight. A few minutes later, he misses a jab to the thigh. Your shirt is thick with sweat. The hilt of your sword feels slippery in your wet fingers. Still, you prevail in 3 fights in a row. Then prepare to face a new opponent. You know him well. He was mentored at the prefecture of Eterna after you. He is unusually quick and nimble fighter. Again and again, you find yourself driven to the edge of the arena to avoid his jabs. Then with a slashing feint, you draw your opponent's blood. Another victory. To your surprise, you are about to fight for the champion's title. You will face Jose Pelletier, the best fencer in the college, with 5 wins in this tournament alone. Your skill pales before the mastery is attained after months in grueling practice of the sword. He assaults you with a flurry of cuts, thrusts, and jabs. You can barely react in time to deflect them. Then you recall a bright moment in your childhood, your first fencing lesson with father, the first man to teach you how to dodge a lunge. This memory comes alive in your mind. You stand more confidently now. You take a few steps back to catch your breath and study your opponent. This Pelletier is good at keeping his distance and following an attack with a defense, yet his movements are too learned, too mechanical. Oh, I skipped it. So you try a trick. First, you pretend there is an opening in your defense. You rush him suddenly, then follow your assault with a feint. Then suddenly, unpredictable attack catches your opponent off guard. He jumps to the side, but not before the very tip of your sword catches Pelletier on the right shoulder. He's itching to continue the fight, but a patch of red spreads across the sleeve of his shirt. Victory. You salute the stalls and dedicate this victory to your father, Robert Brante. Your fellow students pick you up and carry you to the stalls as every one of them chants your name. The winner's reward is the tournament ribbon, and Lady Octavia Melendez, the tournament guest of honor, will tie it around her sword herself. The crowd parts as the daughter of the Archduke Magra walks towards you. All of this time, Octavia's been watching you closely from behind her emerald hand fan. She ties the ribbon of honor around your blade. You have proven yourself admirably, Sir Brante, a worthy victory. Your father has every right to be proud, the son of a judge from Anizote. Who could have known we would meet one another here in the capital of the Empire? I must say I'm amazed. I will remember your name. In the eyes of the young archduchess follow you as you leave the arena victorious. You remember this day for the rest of your life, the day you became a noble. She's intrigued! And I am now a dangerous enemy! You've earned the judge's mantle and the noble title. Got a Steam achievement for that. Alright, let's see what's left. Check destiny. Oh, apparently I can't. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the street. Junius Daimon, Patriarch of Astynia, one of the leaders of New Faith to stand trial before the church tribunal. Really? The Order of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and disseminating heresy. Elders fed their cursed powers, and what's Patriarch is accused of forming a lot less dangerous society. Now the Patriarch must face the Holy Tribunal Inquisition of Eterna. By all accounts, this devastating blow to— oh, fuck, I keep clicking. New Faith. Bringing rid of the Unquote Patriarch. Okay, yep. Yep, they're basically saying he's trying to overthrow the country with his new faith. Tribunal less stunning accusations. These words are nothing but lies. I say to these own judgment next to in person. I want to be pictured by a full waiting responsibility center against me, my flock, diamond testing the Holy Order. Agreed to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I face them on my own land and on my own terms. It has already received strong support of Patriarch Luke. Gotcha. The Inquisition has no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. Their new official stance, the Patriarch Genius, is wrongly accused of Holy Tribunal and the The other has been averted, the divide within churches only deepening. New faith is directly challenged the old faith. The result is uncertain depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Daimon was all pled guilty, the others Patriarch Roches rebellion against the church and Inquisition refused. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astynia and co-leader of the New Faith remains at his post, but for how long and how long the Old Faith and the New Faith clash next? Oh boy, oh boy. The Reglata and Tall Rena rivers meet outside the city walls. You've barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face, and the bright noon sun hangs above the shining pillar. You stay in Eterna, and has come to an end. You arrived here a boy full of hopes, aspirations, driven by your family's expectations and a desire to live your life as you saw fit. And you now have to leave. This thought fills you with gentle sadness. Eterna did not become your home, and yet you have finally found your path. Here in the capital, you became a nobleman and a judge. Now you are one of the rulers, the warriors with pleasure seekers, the creators, those who spill their blood for the empire and family and honor, those who keep honor and honor the age-old traditions. Fuck. You are to work in the prefecture of your home as province as a judge. Path to this goal was a long one. You and your friend Thomas stood by your side all the while. You fondly recall walking through the streets of Eterna, your secret fencing lessons, your heartfelt discussions. You have no doubt your future back in Ennisote will be full of glory. And then you recall the black enigmatic eyes of Octavia Melandis, Archnean from one of the great dynasties, a woman whose beauty and majesty make you tremble. You heard she would be returning to the court of her father, the Archduke of Magra. Will you ever see her again? You will meet father once more. He tends to hide his feelings, but not this time. After all, you fulfilled all his hopes, succeeded in your studies, and continued your family's noble legacy. Many things must have changed back home by now. You recall your older brother Stefan. Now that you have been ennobled, you are practically equals at last. This means you should follow an old tradition and bring Stefan a gift. So you head for the market district of Eterna. You're busy trying out swords at a weaponsmith shop. There's a lot to consider for this gift. Stefan is taller, his shoulders are broader, which means the sword must be heavier and longer. There can be no embellishments. Stefan would scoff at you if you brought him an extravagant weapon. Find a suitable sword, black and steel, the subtle ornament tip leaves on the blade, a grip shaped like women vines. It resembles the seared soil of Magra beneath the silver tree. You choose the sheath with the same diligence. There, a light wooden frame bound to the thin yet sturdy sheath from the greed you to draw. The buckle is sturdy enough. You leave the shop satisfied. You leave the capital in the morning after Eterna, where you spend years. Slowly it appears horizon. Will you ever see the capital again? You do not know. The sword a gift for Stefan in your hands. After 4 years in the capital, you return to your home city of Anazo. I'm coming of age! The end of youth. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time to leave the capital behind and return to your family and a new... Okay, I gotta start over. What the fuck? The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return to your family and new business in your hometown of Anazote. The years away from home were full of tumult and hardship. Your adult shoulders now bear the burden of your first life-changing decisions. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot yourself? Or was it your destiny all along, ever since your childhood years? All you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. The rest of your life. So I'm an influential diplomat. Not really a manipulator. I'm a dangerous enemy. My speech is clear, and I don't know. So I am going to blow up the whole town just because I can. Continue. Alright, here we go.
A full adult now, I returned from the capital a changed man. Yet, my hometown was not the same as I had left it. Fate had difficult times in store for all of us.
Peacetime. Peacetime. As the carriage wheels clack with a steady rhythm over the cobblestones, you watch the lands of Maga rendered dry and desolate by ancient magic sail by the window. You are back in your home province, but you are no longer the boy who left it by this very road 4 years ago. You return a nobleman and a judge. You are continuing the family trade. You have returned to serve the province's prefecture. Your home is Anazote, but a few hours away this long dusty road. The carriage is stuffy and hot from the sun. Even the thick blinders shut tight. It is a familiar heat, but you will now need to get used to it again. The heat weighs heavy on you, but also reminds you of your childhood. You will see your family again soon. To pass the time before you return home, you read your father's most recent letter. Again and again, you carefully reread your father's uneasy words, steeling yourself for your first real job in the service that awaits. Dear Dylan, I anxiously wait your return, my son. You are the third judge in our bloodline, the pride of our family. Yet these are hard times for a judge. By the Emperor's decree, Archduke Tarquinius Melandus is no longer the overseer of Magra. The new overseer is the Emperor's own brother, Gaius Tempest, and now our province has been split by enmity and strife between the Archduke and the overseer. The nobles have split into two factions, and so too have the commoners. Some have sided with the Archduke, loyal to their liege determined to follow traditions of old, yet many judges and officials are equal to side with Gaius Tempest as the new overseer. Compared to his brother Cornelius, he is less radical and more cautious, but he too seeks to transform the empire and bring estates to peace. Yet other Archeans are outraged that Archduke Melandus has been deposed. One of them is Dorius Otten, High Commander of Magra. Although Otten and his men are sworn to serve genotypes follow his orders, it's no secret his loyalty remains with the Archduke. While Gaius and the Archduke are at odds, there's been no open confrontation yet. I fear their patience may one day run dry. As for the judges at the prefecture, every day we deal with more and more litigation between nobles and commoners, yet there are no imperial laws that clearly formalize the rights of all three estates. Wisdom, honor, and conscience are every judge's best advisors these days. Wow. All I can say is wow. You made the choice to serve the law, and then you will have your work cut out for you. You will answer directly to Prefect Augustin Elborn, a long-standing friend of the family. You need strong allies now more than ever. With the support of the people, such as you and I, the Prefect intends to alter the fate of our province, so I am looking forward to seeing you back in Anazote. You put the letter back in your pocket. The walls of Anazote have finally emerged on the horizon. Judge and Gomez, Prefect can with you. But first, you are going home. One little boy left in it. Wow. Hmm. So if I want this one, I have to get my family's wealth up to the very least 5. And then reputation. Yikes. Getting my reputation back up is gonna be tough. Family of means. Fuck. I'm definitely gonna have to get this shit up to 8. Find a way to... Oh, fuck, so I have to get Unity to 7. I have to stop Stefan. Oh my god, they've got secret plots. They can both... Well, Stefan can die in a duel, but then Gloria gets betrothed. Fuck, dude. A long dead race? This shit sounds serious. Alright. Well, it's a good thing we'll have to leave this for the next part. I hope you enjoyed. We'll get down to these harder decisions next time I play. Because, that's a fucking mess. It is absolutely a fucking mess that is, a not time right now to deal with. It's been just under 2.5 hours, and, need to wait for the Chromodome to refresh. Just this chapter means many things. Well, yeah. We'll see where it lands. I'll do my best to get what I want, but who knows? Shit doesn't always go my way. But, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all your time and effort. And, have a good one. Have a good one.